An extraordinary story, front page of The Age, headed Heard Injected Drugs. Front page of The Age, report by Nick McKenzie and Richard Baker, Do They Ever Sleep? Richard Baker, investigative reporter at The Age, joins us. Good morning to you, Richard.
Morning, Ross.
Amazing yarn. So many questions. You mind if we fire a few rapid-fire ones at you?
Hey, I'll do my best.
Heard Injected Drugs is Heard Allegedly Injected Drugs, according to Stephen Dank. Is that the thrust of the story?
That's the thrust of the story.
And is it a problem if a coach takes a substance, hexarelin, that is banned by WADA?
It can be. If you check with WADA or ASADA on their self-assessment checking list and you type in the drug, the sport and your role in the sporting team, i.e. athlete, coach, official, it will come up with an answer.
And what is the answer to coach hexarelin?
Well, when we checked that very late last night, it came up on the computer as banned, but I'd want to check that with verbally as well before relying on that.
No, that's fair enough. So, in other words, what you're saying is preliminary indications are that someone in James Heard's position is not allowed to take hexarelin.
That's what the self-assessment check came up with last night.
Do you know how far this goes, Richard? I mean, what about, for example, the girls that run out with the drinks? What about the committee?
Oh, look, no, I don't think there's no suggestion of that being put to us.
Keep these rapid-fire questions going. Okay, we're going well so far, Richard. He says in the spill of your article on page 2 that Dank said, mind you, he, Heard, wasn't the only coach who was a regular user of it. Is he referring to another AFL coach or other coaches at Essendon?
No, he's referring to other people at that club.
Okay, do you know who they are?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to invite you to say who they are because we may not share the same defamation insurance.
Is there any doubt at the moment whether any of these drugs are banned substances, or are we just guessing, or are they in the loop?
Well, there's some doubt over the anti-obesity one, the AOD drug, because...
Can I just stop you there and explain to folks listening? We're now moving on to the drug that Dank says he injected Essendon players with. That's the AOD drug, which is an anti-obesity drug, and I've just worked out that AOD stands for anti-obesity drug. You say there's some doubt, though there is a paragraph in your article that says Fairfax Media can reveal that WADA's list committee of experts recently told ASADA that AOD should be considered a prohibited substance.
That's right, they did. And that's going to be a problem and going to be a hell of an argument because we understand that the club and Dank obviously believe they've previously received conflicting advice on that particular substance.
Right. So when you say that no, WADA has said that it is banned, when you say it's a little cloudy, the counterbalance to that assertion is that Essendon say, no, hang on, we checked about AOD and we were told it was all right.
That's the crux of it, yeah.
Okay. Next question. In an exclusive interview, Dank says all these things. Just clarifying, is that with an exclusive interview with you?
Yeah, with Fairfax.
Right, okay. Any idea why all of a sudden he has started to talk and spill the beans, or at least his version of what the beans are?
No, not sure.
Richard, is it going to come down to... James Heard has issued a stern denial, which you've printed in your article. Is it going to come down to the situation where Dank says white, Heard says black? Whose version do you prefer?
Well, possibly. It probably could come down to that, and that's an interesting scenario. I suppose the other issue is then if a coach is unable to say, well, I don't know what I was injected with. It might be one thing to be told something and be, have the wool pulled over your eyes there, and it's probably a fair bit of leeway in if that's been the case. But if you haven't even checked or haven't really made the due diligence to really ask, well, what is this that I'm getting? Then that comes down to a judgment issue there too, which could raise some other questions.
In what role is he receiving these injections? Is it to improve his capacity as a sporting identity, or is it allegedly, or alternatively, is it recreational? Allegedly,
I think according to Dank, in the interview, is basically to give the coach and other people who work pretty long hours in a stressful environment a bit of a pickup and it, boost their immune system and give them a greater capacity to do their job with a bit more energy.
We can certainly accept it's a stressful environment. I can imagine Tony Jewell saying to himself, where was the hexalerin when I was coaching the Tigers? So, reducing the story to its bare bones, and again, congratulations, it's an extraordinary story. One, was James Hird injected with a WADA prohibited substance, and does that present him with a legal difficulty? You say preliminary indications from self-assessment on the ASADA website indicate yes. Second question, were Essendon players injected with the anti-obesity drug, and is that anti-obesity drug on the WADA banned list? Are they the two key questions?
Well, that's what it really boils down to. And then there's a lot of other external issues about the appropriateness of sort of experimental or, off-label drugs used in that sporting environment. And also some questions about governance and internal things. For example, why was the Essendon club doctor not the person who had to sign off on tests for blood work on the players, but why go to another doctor to do that?
Good on you, Richard. Final question. Do you and Nick McKenzie ever sleep?
Occasionally.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.